and your time begins now.
Samara Siddique, contestant in Miss India Beauty Pageant. Victim's known relatives, her mom, Aisha Siddique. The body was found on top of a lighting stanchion and was discovered during one of those pageant rehearsals. Cause of death, she was strangled to death from behind, and time of death was between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m.
Okay, so two things regarding the murder. One, she was having a dinner with the other contestants. And number two, she had her guitar and she walked out after having a talk with the host, Shresh Taneja.
So, Shresh is our main suspect here, and this is mainly because we recovered black sequins from the victim's hair, which was a direct match to the blazer that was worn by the suspect. And also other suspects include the other contestants that were staying at the hotel that night.
Okay. So one of the other contestants heard Samara argue with somebody else in the dressing room. Thought it was a boyfriend. He got scared and ran away. However, Jay Mathur, Samara's station manager, reported that Samara had no boyfriend. It was a strict policy that he had set.
Guys, here it says that Shresh Taneja has an alibi. Look at this. It looks like he was at a Pratik concert, so I guess we can rule him out as a suspect.
So, the guitar that was actually seen with Samara when she was leaving the dinner was not on her at the crime scene, and it was actually in fact recovered from a trash can, and upon fingerprint analysis, it showed that it was the prints of a person called Arahi Mittal. Now, Arahi is actually a fellow contestant of the pageant, and she's also a childhood friend of Samara. And upon questioning, she stated that she would do anything to win the competition, and that she'd actually taken the guitar to sabotage Samara's performance.
Oh yeah, she was 25 and this would have been last year.
By the way, in Aakrosh's dressing room, there was a blackmail letter which said, "Pay up or I'll kill you."
Seems like she was getting blackmailed, and since she couldn't pay, she had to give up her life.
Oh, the photograph seems to be of a professional quality, and 6 months back she was actually scheduled to have a photo shoot with Atul Kasbekar. The detectives on the case questioned him, and he said that the blackmail was well below him. However, on the day of the photo shoot, Samara was accompanied by someone who seemed to be a boyfriend. His name was Adrian or Aiden or something.
Jay Mathur had no clue what he was, but the mother. He contacted the mother and she was like, there was an ex-boyfriend, but this was all before she left to Delhi.
Guys, hold on a second. I lost my train of thought. Okay, here we go. Now the detectives on the case contacted Aiden in Mumbai. His mother picked up and said that they moved to New Delhi a month back.
See, that can't be, because they raided his apartment and they found him hanging dead. And here, the report says that the cause of death was a suicide, but the marks on the neck indicate that he too was strangled. And his time of death was 24 hours prior to Samara's death. His death was just supposed to be a suicide.
Guys, he hit another dead.
Guys, we have only 6 hours left. What are we going to do?
Okay, I'm just looking at Viran Chahuja's financials, and look, he paid for a cab from the hotel to Aiden's apartment.
You know what? Let's just call the handle, okay? Sir, it seems like Viran Chahuja was blackmailing Samara, and he is now a prime suspect. Are there any reports on his questioning?
Damn it, the detectives already figured this out. They were having an affair, and Samara was the one who was blackmailing, not the other way around. Anyways, it doesn't matter because his alibi checks out.
We've reached another dead end. They're doing their best to make it seem super hard for us.
Guys, just a hunch, but have we looked into the pageant manager properly? I mean, he would have known about any encounter that would have happened between Samira, Aiden or Viransh, right? And also, she would have obviously told Jay about Aiden coming back into town.
Guys, have a look at these paintings. The manager and the victim both have the similar painting in the background.
Also, looking into Jay Mathur's financials, 8 months back he'd made a purchase at an auction house for the same 2 paintings. Sir, has Jay been interrogated regarding the evidence that shows that the photo was taken by him?
Congratulations, recruits. You have managed to find a new lead on an open case. The detectives faced the same dead ends as you did, but great job on narrowing it down to a new lead and also presenting the evidences that might lead you in capturing the murderer.
Sir, what do you mean by it's an open case?
This was an open case that the detectives could not solve. They wanted a new perspective on it, so we brought it here. Who better to look at for a new perspective than the recruits for CBI? Good stuff, guys. We set up the escape room simulation to help you understand and see if you could cope up with the stress of being an actual detective.
Thank you for solving the case. Commissioner Agastya told me about all of your efforts into putting Jay Mathur behind bars. I remember Jay Mathur suspected Aiden to be the one blackmailing my Beti. Since only a few people had access to his office, Aiden being one of them. So when Jay Mathur confronted Aiden and he refused to admit, turned into a heated argument, and that vile man strangled Aiden to death. Samira knew. Samira tried contacting Aiden and he didn't pick any of her calls, and she wanted to go visit him, she wanted to file a complaint, but Jay Mathur forbade her from doing any of that. I should have known. Just to save his reputation. He killed my daughter. Jay Mathur killed Samira Siddiq. Jay Mathur behind bars will never fully be enough to avenge my daughter's death. I no longer have a reason to live. Maybe it's time for me to go.
In a shocking development today, after seeing the man who murdered her daughter finally get the justice she deserved, Aisha Siddiq, mother of Samira Siddiq, was found dead in her apartment after severely overdosing on diazepam. Local news reports heavy rains throughout the country.